What was it? What was the Barry, the son of a bitch?
If you were born after the Civil War, you've probably seen a romance film. It has been a staple of film since basically the beginning. This actually right here is the first romance film ever, called The May Irwin Kiss. It is everything you need in a romance film. Both kissing and a killer mustache. I want to focus more on one film. One film that masters the complexities of all the love types and shows an unabashed realism of actual relationships. Spectacular Now. Directed by James Ponsoldt and based on the Tim Tharp novel, The Spectacular Now revolves around Sutter Keeley.
How do you know my name?
Played by Miles Teller, as he navigates breakup,
We are done! We're done!
falling in love,
I'm Amy. Amy Finicky.
That's what I was gonna say.
and the onset of adulthood.
The only way I can let you stay is if you promise me 100% that you will never come in here loaded again.
And while these are all topics done a million times by a million teen rom-coms, The Spectacular Now hits differently because that's not the point. At its core, The Spectacular Now is a study of the actual types of love and how they affect people. Okay, some background. A couple weeks ago, a friend and I got into an argument about what the best flirting romance scene in movies was. And I, ever the nerd, cited 1976's Superman as what I thought the perfect flirting scene was.
Oh, that's interesting. Problems and first name. Do you have a first name?
What do you mean, like Ralph or something?
No, I mean like,
Pink. Huh? Pink.
She responded with the 4 scene from The Spectacular Now. And while I didn't admit it, because I can never say no to Superman, she was totally right. Okay, but before I get too ahead of myself and into all the types of love in the whole film, let's just focus on the genius of this one forest scene. According to Miles, this was shot with Steadicam on actual film. What this literally means is a camera operator is walking backwards with a roughly 100-pound or more camera strapped to their chest. What it meant to the cast was they were not getting many of these, and with actual film, they couldn't even watch back what they got. So, what unfolds in real time is this awesome, awkward interaction between two people that have very little idea how to talk to each other. Hell, this little leaf thing right here, not planned. Just Shailene Woodley did that on the first take. But the scene is a great back and forth of motives. Amy wants someone to know about her college decision, but when Sutter starts to call her on the reasons for turning it down, she pulls ahead of him, wanting to end the conversation. Realizing bluntness isn't working, he switches to compliments and she pulls back onto his level and looks at him, now interested again. It's so simple. It's just a tiny block that says so much about what they want. And then after a frankly adorable amount of swearing, he awkwardly checks to see if there's a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend in the picture, and then getting the kind of all clear, he seals it with,
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh my god, no.
great realistic writing with simple but telling blocking, an almost perfect visual representation of the category of love the Greeks called Eros. Okay, so now let's back away from that scene and look at the categories of love and the film as a whole. From this point on, I will be assuming you've watched the film, so, fair warning. Quick terminology lesson for everyone. Based on Greek philosophy, writer C.S. Lewis once identified 4 different types of love. He had Eros, passionate love, philia, love of companions, storge, love between parents and children, and agape, love for mankind as a whole. And then, between 1973 and 1976, renowned psychologist John Allen Lee created what he called the love color wheel, which added pragma, a practical-based love, manic, an obsessive and slightly self-destructive version of Eros and love, and ludos, a playful and usually connectionless love. We start the film with Sutter's initial voiceover, telling us the tale of his breakup. In it, he says,
I wasn't much of a relationship guy, but once we started hooking up, that all changed. Horny.
we can assume that Sutter was after ludos. He's looking for something passionate and unattached, and backs us up with basically all his other dialogue. His comments about how you have to live in the moment, ludos. His bouncing between Cassidy and Amy, spending time and charming both, ludos. All these interactions are about need and desire. He doesn't want a relationship, he wants sex and excitement. He doesn't want future, he wants the excitement of the now. But NBK, you say, you're not breaking any new ground here. Most movies are the progression of ludos to philia to Eros. That's kind of the model, right? And you are right, most movies accomplish that. So we'll set those 3 aside for now. So here's what we're left with. Pragma, storge, manic, agape. These are usually left out of the typical romance film. And here's where The Spectacular Now stands out as a romance, because the script hits all of them. When we meet Sutter's sister and her husband, they talk about the wealth acquired through marriage and how it benefits them. Extremely practical. Pragma. When Amy almost gets killed by Sutter in the car and then is hit by another car, she still somehow dotes over him.
Oh my god. Oh my god, are you okay?
What?
Are you alright?
No,
Are you
Amy.
hurt? Is there anything that...
Amy, stop. No, I'm not. I'm far from okay. Jesus.
Are you hurt?
Amy, what is the matter with you? I almost just killed you, and you want to know if I'm okay.
And while this may seem like her being selfless, and it was a sign of manic love. A love, usually your first, that expresses itself by losing sense of self and having this constant worry about losing the relationship. And while this moment is definitely the first time Sutter has probably experienced an almost unconditional love, it's not healthy for Amy, which she must have realized by the end, because the look on her face when he shows back up at the end, that is definitely the face of someone who's realized some shit. Finally, the true point and the driving force of the film, the dynamic duo, if you will, the love of a parent and the love of all people. While the movie touches on all other forms of love, the desire and need of Sutter to experience true, unconditional parental love is what drives all his actions. Everything he does drives the plot towards him finding Storge. He believes wholeheartedly he will get this from his dad, but when his dad turns out to be this alcoholic bum and a scary look on Sutter's future, it is his mother with whom he finally finds that love, and who reminds him of which love he has always actually had. According to her,
you love everybody. You have the biggest heart of anyone I know.
and this is something almost no other romance film touches upon, just the final genuine love of humanity and the moment, no matter what actually happens. And even though he sees every type of love in this film, the most important romance is the one he has with everything in the now.
Nobody loves me.
Sutter, you are so wrong. Do you hear me? You are so wrong.
Well, you've reached the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're still here, thanks for sticking to the end. I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you next time.